All right, things that you need for throwing on the potter's wheel. Number one, this black thing on top is called a bat. You need that because you'll be able to take your clay project off when you're done and you'll be able to put it off to the side. You also are going to need a bucket of cold water. You're going to need one of these circular sponges and these two wooden tools and a needle tool in every bucket. Once you have that, then you're ready to roll. Make sure your bat is clean. Try to take off any extra water that might be on it. And I like taking a little extra clay and finding where the circle is. When I have that, that's my aiming point. So I'll take my ball of clay, and this is the only part where you're actually allowed to throw clay in class. So when you take it, you're just gonna slam it down into what you think is the center part. You'll be close, but it's never perfect. And so what we have to do next is to center it. And I like to put one hand on the top, and I like to put one hand on the side. Now when you're throwing, you're in control of the speed. Toe is faster, heel is slower. Kind of like a lawnmower or maybe a, oh, that noise is gonna bug me. Or like a dune buggy. So if you are more comfortable with going this way, it's fine, or this way. That's up to you if you're, whichever is your dominant hand. My dominant hand is my right, so I like to put it on the right side or the wall. I also want you to notice that I'm completely straddling the wheel, and I'm gonna put my elbow onto my leg to make me a little bit stronger. I'm gonna use a little speed to help center. And the idea is that as the clay is going around in a circle, it's creating a nice circle, and my hand is pushing it where I want it to go. So I'm looking for a flat top and a flat wall. Once I think I have it, I'm going to use this 90-degree angle of this wooden tool, and I'll take out any of the extra clay on the side. All right, did you notice how often I kept on dipping my hands in there? You want this clay to go smoothly in your hands. You're gonna get slip all over, and if it's too much, you can scrape it off, but always keep your hands wet so the clay can move through it. I like finding what I refer to as the belly button and finding that center point or center spot, because that's where I'm gonna go down. When you get to this point, you're gonna call me over and just have me double check to make sure you're centered. And then once you are, you can either take your two thumbs or your pointer finger, and you'll go straight down, okay? The next thing that I wanna be obvious about is you don't wanna go all the way down, because you don't wanna make a hole at the bottom of your piece. You wanna just go so it's about a ½ inch from the bottom of your clay, which of course I'll help you with. Now the next part is important. It's your hand placement. This hand on the outside is for your wall, so it doesn't collapse or fall over, so it doesn't become a plate. Your hand that's going in is supposed to go to the palm of your hand, because this is the strongest part of your arm. So when you go in, I like to take my thumb and link it over. And I don't know, Kayla, if you want to come in closer and see this, but I'll just take my hand. I'm going to squeeze with my thumb there, and then it just opens up. Okay, and then I'm gonna get my hands wet again, and I'm gonna do it this way for demonstration purposes so you guys can see how it just opens. And when I'm doing this, did you guys notice it's just, I'm trying to still keep this cylinder shape? And then once I get this height I want, or that cylinder shape, and make sure that the walls are even thicknesses, then I'll start opening it up and coming up with the shape. So a common question I'll ask you is, what kind of bowl do you want? And you might say, I want it like this, or I want it like this, or I want it to go in and out. And we'll figure that part out together. But you gotta have the wall be even thicknesses throughout it, and then we can shape it. So I want my bowl to get a little lighter, and now I can slow down my speed. I'm gonna slowly So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to kind of wrap this up, but I'm going to kind of go over a few things like terms. The opening is called the mouth. This part right here is called your lip. The bottom is called your foot. You want to make sure that you clean both your lip and your foot. This tool is awesome for coming up with a clean bottom or edge. You want to make sure that you're kind of aggressive with going in there and cleaning it out, because I don't know if you've ever thought about putting a bowl on a table, but it could chip down there. So you want to make sure you don't have extra clay in that spot. I want to make sure that I don't have extra water inside, so I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm just going to pull out the extra water. And then my last but not least is my lip. I want to make sure that that is in place, and so I can take it and I can either bend it out or I can bend it in. But after that, I'm gonna just kind of inspect it, see if I like it. If I'm done with it, then I'm gonna write my name on here, or I'll have Post-it notes for you guys to have it in your hour, and you'll just take it off and you'll put it over on the shelving unit over there, and then you'll come back and you'll take these sponges and you're gonna clean all this excess slip that fell in the bucket. And it's also equally important that you take this bucket, once you clean up this whole area, even chunks of clay can go in the bucket, and you're gonna take, once it's clean, then you can take it to the sink to clean it out.